So, let's do this. As we go in-game, I'm going to have our player who unfortunately did just fall to true coming in now. So he's already down a match in today's group. Let's see if he can pull this back. To the top left-hand side, our green Zerg player is going to be Guru. And down to the bottom left-hand side, our red Terran player is going to be ByuN. The one and only. He's the god of Lei Feng Cup. He's the god of Dojo Star Masters. Is it time for him to become the god of the SGL? Well, maybe it is. And this is the first time he's played in an SGL. Obviously, a new format here for the third SGL Cup. Previously, it used to take place on the Korean server. It used to take place at sort of like in the middle of the day for Koreans, which was like very early morning for Europeans, so like in the middle, 5, 6 a.m. And it used to take place, obviously then midnight, late night, NA time. They didn't actually have any English coverage for it, so this is sort of new for us. Being able to kind of actually cover this, because obviously we weren't going to get 5, 6 a.m. to cast. I don't have that much passion, sadly. But yeah, so the new format is basically now it's held on the NA/EU server, and with it being on the NA/EU server, it is going to be obviously a lot more accessible to NA players, European players. The Koreans can play as well, and it's actually had a pretty good time. It's sort of like late night. It's like 10 p.m. Korean time. It's obviously middle of the day European time. It's kind of morning-ish in the NA region as well. It's not. It's very early morning in some regions of NA. I guess it is quite early in the morning for NA. It's like between I guess it's between what like. Nice. I guess it's between like 6 and 9 a.m. So it's pretty early morning for NA, but it's a very accessible cup now. So we're going to be casting this again. Going to take place once every 2 weeks apparently. $600 on the line, and it is best of 3 round robin groups into a single elimination playoff. As we kick off into our second series, we've seen so far a very standard build order out of ByuN. It's that classic 2-rack stim medevac drop going to be incoming in the next 2 minutes or so. From Guru, well, he's just opened hatch gas pool. He's already got the third hatchery on the way down as well, and that's something which ByuN has not spotted just yet. And we'll come into the main base now, just to try and get a bit more information, maybe even try and get a drone kill. Just push a drone behind the minerals, gets made into a spore crawl, and plenty of time to keep it alive, though. As we'll see that Reaper just dropping back down. And Guru just going to be sat here with this third hatchery in position now, finished as well. So that's something which obviously ByuN scouts on his way out, just picking up information as to how his opponent is going into the stages of this game. And we'll see what ByuN wants to get done. We'll see how he's going to open here. We'll see if he's going to have anything in particular that he wants to do with this drop. I mean, obviously a lot of the time nowadays we just see this drop sort of drop in and clean up creep, the follow-up being the thing we sort of pay more attention to. But we'll see if he creates any opportunities. The way ByuN's been playing with this drop the last few days, I've been casting him in Lei Feng Cups and so on. It's pretty incredible the things he can make happen with so few units, and the the opportunities he can create for himself. So keep our eyes open for that. Guru right now is not actually spreading creep at all, which is interesting because it does mean it's very difficult for him to move between his bases with these queens. You'd imagine actually that one of the most important things for Guru here is going to be to connect up his third base and his natural expansion of creep spread, because otherwise his queens aren't going to be able to move between bases and defend very early on. Unless he just isn't going to rely on queens for his defense early, but they're so important to target down the medevacs and so on. It's well, it's very strange not to rely on some queens in the early stages of the games nowadays. As you're just going to be seeing a couple of medevacs loading on up, and they're going to start going towards the upper side of the map. So ByuN going to be starting to fly towards the northern side here, and we're just going to be seeing a bunch more zerglings being added on. Melee upgrades on the way up. I'm just going to be seeing these 2 medevacs just starting to unload from the these marines starting to unload from these 2 medevacs. So these 2 medevacs just going to be coming up this ramp, and here we go. Attack going to start, but the queen's not in position just yet, and so that's going to be a fair few zerglings going down without the medevacs being forced backwards, which means the healing does go down, although Guru does still have enough to push this away. So good defense so far by Guru. Those medevacs, they're going to try and probably just go up to the top side and then unload once again. But Guru is on top of it. He realizes where ByuN is headed, and he's going to pull his zerglings over here. And plenty of time to start engaging in. And those few marines actually getting taken down. 3 or 4 getting killed off there. He's going to unload again, but Guru is back. And ByuN not having the best of luck so far with this initial drop. Guru actually playing this very nicely. We see a few more marines to the low ground. And he cleans up another 2 or so, and ooh, that medevac starting to take damage. We do see something in the natural, but that medevac goes down. It's another drop into the natural, which does kill off 6 workers, but one medevac down to the right-hand side. This medevac is so low, and if there's a queen on that third base, which there isn't, unfortunately, would have been able to snipe that down. 4 health remaining on this. That queen over there, if he'd come back, would have been a very different story. So we're going to see Guru's going to drop down the Spire. Guru's always been this player who is, in a way, very similar to True, I guess, where he actually prefers to play these sort of large, counter-attack heavy armies, just sort of the spam of units. Guru wants to target down that medevac here. As ByuN just going to make the most of this drop, pick off 3 more workers. Not bad, but again, he's lost a lot of units throughout this so far, so he has lost a lot, and that's worth keeping in mind because he's not done an incredible amount of damage. 9 workers or so is nice, but any follow-up attack now from ByuN? Well, Guru is already going to be somewhat prepared for it because he's just cleaned up so much early on. Here we see 2 more medevacs going to go across the map. But again, at this point in time, Guru with 49 lings and 6 queens. Again, 16 marines. I mean, he's already defended 60 marines much earlier in this game and 2 medevacs. So there's no reason he shouldn't be able to now, with even more units out on the field. We do see a few of the lings across the map, seeing what's up, seeing what they can do. We're going to see them match a lot of them pulling back right now. As Guru has started to get that creep spread going for himself as well, up the top side and to the right here a little bit. Still lacking maybe a little bit through the center. As we'll see, well, ByuN just going to stim up here. He's going to start fighting on in, but actually Guru comes in for surround. And that's just a nice little addition to the fact that he had those lings out onto the map. Comes back and just get a bit of a surround there, which makes it very quick pick up from ByuN. And again, no real damage done. Guru continues to defend so far. His first Mutalist now coming in, only able to afford 6 at this point. He's actually skipping his 2-2 upgrades for now as well, prioritizing the Mutalisks instead. So ByuN will start to open up a little bit of an upgrade advantage here in game number 1. As his third base moves into position, his free base economy is going to start setting up, of course, and his free base production is more or less there already. He's up to 5 racks, adding on 3 extra, so he's going into his 8 racks production already. He's going to be very well set, ByuN, to continue in this game. As we will see this double medevac drop, still just positioned to the upper right. I mean, you can see Guru. The only thing he's really missing is actually, I feel he really at this point does need to start his 2-2. He's got balance speed on the way up soon. He's got +1 attack on the Mutalisks. I feel as though he needs his 2-2 upgrades because otherwise he's just going to allow ByuN to trade more efficiently than he should be able to for no real reason. I'm just going to be seeing a few marines starting to unload in this upper right hand side. You'll see a few SCVs pulling down to this third base as well. So a few SCVs just pulling down here and starting to mine again. ByuN just starting to saturate that third. That's one of the things with this build order. That third base for the Terran does not start to mine for quite some time actually. You know, he's only just now at 8 minutes 30 fully saturated this. So Guru, you know, he's happy to have had to make a bunch of units. And again, I feel as though Guru's early in this game has put himself in a good position. I just bring it back to the upgrades because once more, the lack of upgrades here does concern me. I would like it if he'd started as 2-2. Mirrors are going to start flying around though, and well, ByuN has a turret or so up here and there, but there's still going to be openings. You know, he's going to find himself a marine here, might find himself a widow mine there, maybe a depot kill or something. Just picking off a few units. Obviously, he did lose a Mutalist at the start of this, so it's not being super efficient, but little bits and pieces, they do start to add up as the game goes by. It would just be nice to add an overseer into this so you can see those widow mines a little bit more easily. As Marine's going to collect together these medevacs as well, joining up overhead. And he's actually going to head back towards the upper side. This double drop over here, ByuN not actually doing anything with it just yet. He didn't even clean the creep spread out previously. Whether he forgot to save a scan or what happened, I'm not too sure. He's saving scans now, ready so you can, you know, clean that creep out. It's something which you do want to do as a Terran player, because if you don't get rid of that creep, it becomes so difficult for you to engage as the game goes on. And of course, you know, as the game goes on, with creep spread, the Zerg becomes more powerful as well, because they have more freedom to counterattack, and you know, everything just gets better for the Zerg with creep spread. It gets worse for the Terran without that creep spread, with the creep spread there as well. So 21 more Banelings morphing in. We're going to be seeing Guru has finally started the 2-2 upgrades, but it is down a good kind of 2-3 minute advantage, which his opponent's going to have on that. 2 minutes, sorry. Yeah, it's going to be another kind of minute and a half or so, 2 minutes until those finish. But the free upgrades have started as well now from ByuN. And so with those next set of upgrades coming in, that's something Guru would have for a long time here, as he does not have a lair. Oh, sorry, he's not moved his lair into a hive just yet to be able to start moving in towards his next set of upgrades here. We're going to see a little bit of an engagement starting to come in. The Widow Mine's not going off just yet. Actually, we see the Liberators, not many of them, only 2 right here, and they should go down to those meters if Guru wanted to chase. Missing an Overseer currently to get rid of some of these Widow Mines. A little bit of a mistake from Guru, as you do see at the same time that drop to the upper right-hand side, just pushing some creep back. Nothing else too major. Probably wanted to try and deny a 4th base or 5th base coming up in that location. As you see, pushing forwards here again. Why doesn't Guru have an Overseer? If he had one Overseer, I feel as though he'd be so much happier fighting into this already. As we are going to see now, the Overseer's coming in. He will clean out the Widow Mines before they go off once again. And this is going to be ByuN trying to back away. But guess what? The Medivacs have run out of boost. That's 2 full Medivacs going down. Reinforcements get here just a little bit too late. Both Medivacs have fallen. ByuN taking heavy losses right now. Guru is controlling this map. And those fights were with Guru behind on upgrades as well. Absolutely crazy. You're going to see the Zerglings run on in towards the center of the map. The Marines will load on up into the Medivacs. Continue to head over to the right-hand side. Bunch of Bioforces still in the bottom left quadrant of the map now. As we're going to see more Bins and Zerglings just joining up together. An Infestation Pit being added as well by Guru. So he gets ready to go into his next stage of the game. Guru's got another half minute or so to attack before his free of his opponent finishes. Before he once again is behind on upgrades. Let's see if he can take that opportunity at all. ByuN still only with 2 Liberators. He's actually got no Liberators right now, so nothing really to help out against these Mutas. His Widow Mine count is actually non-existent as well. It's pure bio at the moment from ByuN, and those Mutas, they're going to start getting damage done. They're going to start jumping between the bases, and this is the exact situation which Guru would want to be in. Running around, he wants to be the player controlling the map, and as a player, when you start pushing your Terran player around and start, making him jump between his bases, you can do that much more easily than he can. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. That's why Muddling Bane isn't so good anymore, because actually, you never get this opportunity nowadays, because usually there is Liberators up, which can keep up with the Mutalists a lot more easily. So, to kind of not have the Liberator count here from ByuN definitely does hurt, as we see the Bio collecting together still on this 4th base. We're going to be seeing these Lingers, Banes, and a few Mutas just collecting overhead. A couple of turrets on the way up as well, as we're going to be seeing a few Zerglings starting to run forwards. Ooh, losing a few units there, but at the same time, Lingers have ran into that 3rd base also, so SCV's continuing to go down. In fact, Lingers just going all over the place. At the same time, here comes the main army forwards from Guru. His Banelings are not the best of trades there from the Banelings. Nachi, as ByuN comes in from a couple of angles, he cleans up a lot of that for free at the very end. Still lots of Zerglings around here, down to the south side of the map, though still a few towards the natural. But ByuN has taken that last fight, and he said, you know what, this is an opportunity for me to move forwards and get something done. He's heavily overstimmed, though. And Guru? Well, actually, Guru doesn't have Banelings right now. He's waiting for 10 of them to morph in. His lack of Banelings is very concerning. He's going to just have to fight in. ByuN is going to stim again, though, so his army is going to be so low on health. Oh, Guru only needs a few units here, but he just doesn't have them. This one attack from ByuN, after actually genuinely being behind for most of the game, is just going to be too much, and Guru's going to have to type out GG. ByuN is just going to make the one counter attack. So I hope you're going to stick around with us. It'll be a good long 7 or 8 hour stream at least. Just as we had yesterday. We actually had a 9.5 hour stream yesterday with the Lathan Cup playoffs into the WCS qualifiers. It was also a lot of fun. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Hope you're ready to enjoy some more action. Let us introduce our players for Game 2 of this Best of 3 series. To the top right hand side, our green Zerg is going to be from True Esports. It's Guru. I really do believe that he was in a better position than his opponent in game number 1 for a good part of that. But as always, this man to the bottom left seems to find a way. Our red Terran player is ByuN. So game 2, let's see what's going to happen this time around. I mean, the thing that went wrong for Guru really was that he just didn't have another wave of Banelings ready to go. Yes, it wasn't a good fight for him, but then he just missed a production cycle, so he didn't have his reinforcements ready. If he had reinforcements, he actually could have pushed that back quite easily, because of how low health everything was. But the fact he had to pull back, then start morphing Banelings in, as ByuN was already pushing in towards the upper side, it's just way too late. As I just get this set up and ready to go. Into game number 2 of this, obviously we're just waiting to see if there's going to be anything too interesting. I mean, immediately on this map, we generally sort of expect maybe a free rack sweeper nowadays. It's just such a good build order to use. So sometimes you can definitely go into this and sort of think, hey, maybe we're going to see free rack sweeper from the Terran, especially from ByuN, who loves the free rack sweeper play. But it's not going to be the case. He actually once again just goes for the Reaper expand into the second barracks. And if that second barracks on the way up, well, we're probably going to see the good old double rack stim build order once again. What a shocker. We'll see how he wants to follow up, though. I mean, last time he did follow up with the double engineering bay into a fairly fast third base. There is obviously more aggressive follow-ups with siege tank pushes and so on, which you can do as well. So we'll keep our eyes on how exactly that is going to go. Thank you very much, Dark Ones, who cheers 100 and says, Woody hype. That's how I'm going to say bits from now on. Instead of saying bits, I'm going to say cheers 100, because I just think it sounds better. I'm sick of saying bits. It gets on my nerves. Thank you very much, Lib75, who also, as this Reaper actually picked off a second drone. Reaper doing some good damage here early on. Guru with a few mistakes. Lib75 here with cheers 100 and says, Chinese guys should pay Wardy for the great job done. Why? What did I do? I didn't do anything. I just hosted a game. It's not that hard. Hey, in the Lei Feng Cup, the Chinese casters are hosting the games all the time for me, so good to be returning the favour this time around. It's actually because it's a different Chinese caster to usual. It's actually the person who's casted this in Chinese. It's his event. It's him who's organised the event is putting the money in. So different Chinese caster to usual, and happy to help him out by creating some of the games and stuff and helping to promote the event as well. Always great that we get another tournament to cast. Honestly, the Dirty Star Masters is actually on hiatus right now, so being able to cast this Thursday, Friday, every week now, more or less, is going to be pretty awesome. Again, this event will take place once every 2 weeks, and it's going to be set up so that like Lei Feng Cups will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday and Fridays are going to be the SGL. It's really cool to kind of have so much StarCraft action coming for you guys, so really glad to be able to bring it to you all. As we do just see, feeling it's going to go across the map. I mean, again, it wasn't a good start from Guru. He's lost a few workers here that he shouldn't really have lost. You know, you shouldn't be losing workers to a Reaper or so. As we're going to see these lings, they don't even get the 2 SCVs over here. Oh, it's frustrating for Guru right now. It really is. A little bit frustrating for him to just sort of attack there and not actually pick up an SCV. He got 2 of them very low, but just didn't finish them off. That wall, very important for ByuN, of course, because when he moves out with his medevacs and his marines inside, he is not going to have anything left at home. So having a wall is imperative to his success in this game to make sure any counterattack isn't going to do too much damage. And also, from this wall, it means that he's going to be completely walled into his 3 bases thanks to the rest of the rocks that are on the map. And so he can take his 3rd base in location, build it in the spot without any issues at all. So it's a good map actually to do this build order on, just because you can take that 3rd base in location. That's true about any build order in this map, though. For the Terran player, you can take it in location because there's no way he's going to counterattack you that early in the game if you have a wall up. Unless he's going to commit to like a huge all-in, in which case building your 3rd in location is probably going to be something you don't want to do anyway. As we do see the double engineering bay on the way up right now from ByuN. So once again, same follow-up from him as we saw in game number 1. As he actually picks off an Overlord here to begin with, that's going to supply Guru slightly. Guru already with 22 Zerglings all on the way, however, and so with 22 Lings already on the way up, he should be alright to defend against this. His own double evolution chamber on the way up as he looks to go in towards his own... Well, he looks to go in towards his own upgrades, obviously, and looking to try and match the Terran's upgrades, which he did very well at the start of the last game. But he then sort of slipped up. I feel as though he should have just put his 2-2 down a little bit sooner. And that caused a couple of engagements maybe not go as well for him as they could have done. 3rd medevac going to come across the map. ByuN not going to commit until this 3rd medevac arrives. Once the 3rd medevac gets here, it's actually crazy how much more powerful these marines come. It's definitely not a linear kind of increase in power as you add marines into this army against just Ling Queen. It's more so, it's not exponential, but it's, it almost feels like that, because as 8 more marines join in here with a Widow, 6 more marines in a Widow Mine, the marines clump up a bit more, that extra DPS in this ball of units goes up, and yet the surface area doesn't really increase, so the Zerglings don't get any better of a surround, but the DPS is so much higher here, and what you'll see is ByuN is just going to start decimating as well. The Widow Mine was a disaster there for the Terran player. Okay, well, forget everything I was saying. The Widow Mine just killed off a whole bunch of marines. You can see this. He lost 5 marines in the units lost tab out of, and what, how many got away? 6 marines got away. So that's 11 marines. So where did the other 7 go? I'll tell you where them other 7 went. They went to the Widow Mine. The Widow Mine friendly firing and killing 7 marines. That's absolutely huge. That's insane. That's going to help Guru out so much with this. And already Guru up 13 workers. Up in army, he's looking confident. He's looking good. His spider's on the way down. Let's just hope he hits the 2-2 upgrades on time this time. I really do feel as though that's the one thing he should change from the last game, just to try and keep himself in a bit of a better position for a little bit longer. As you're going to be seeing a stim up this ramp, and already Zerglings coming in to respawn, getting this around. Nice target fire on the Baneling there. Fact of the matter is, there's just too many Zerglings for ByuN to really keep on fighting, so he does have to lift, he does have to back away now. He does begin to pull back down towards the bottom left-hand side. Centrifugal hooks does start up from Guru. And we are going to be seeing the 4th base. Actually going to be added as a macro hatchery. Interesting. I wonder if he feels unconfident kind of holding this 4th base just yet because of the lack of creep spread. I wonder which 4th base he does take. He might take this one up to the northern side. He could take this one to the east. He is going to take this one to the east. So, he's going to take this base on the right-hand side as his 4th. I like it because this base isn't immediately the base you sort of push into as a Terran player. If you imagine he's pushing out of his natural to push into this base, it's almost as though he has to go cross-map rather than just up the map straight away like he's done with this little bit of a push here. A few seconds are going to come in. They're going to look for some reinforcement pickoffs. That's always a nice thing to try and do, and especially if the Ling Bane Muta is a highly mobile composition, so if you can pick off a Marine here, Marine there reinforcing, things can swing into your favour very swiftly. We're going to be seeing a depot just coming up over towards the 3rd base. We're going to be seeing a few Marines just getting ready to go forwards once again. Zergling's having to think about moving forwards here. In the end, they do not, though. I'm going to see once again a bunch more Mutalisks on the way up. +1 flyer attacks coming in off of the Spire. So +1 flyer attacks coming in off the Spire, and again, 2-2 upgrades now for ByuN, and it's again Guru delaying the 2-2 upgrades to be able to go into his mutas earlier. So he delays the 2-2, he goes into 13 mutas, but he's not doing anything with these yet, which is why I don't like it. He's just sat here, and so for 2-2 to start, he'd just be on 9 mutas instead. I don't know, you know, he'd be on 13 mutas now anyways, because he would have started the mutas and they would have come here. Anyways, let's hold that fort. Because Guru looked as though he was going to fight there. Wouldn't mind at the front is one of the things I think Guru's a little bit afraid of right now. Can't move far enough for us to target that down because there's not enough Marines around it. So, Mutas do just have to be cautious. ByuN just continue to sort of set up. 15 more Banelings being made. As you see 2-2 upgrades coming in for him as well. So 2-2 upgrades coming in. From both players, I mean, this time actually Guru isn't as far behind on the 2-2. Only 40 seconds or so, so not so bad, but again, definitely could have been more even for how little he achieved with the Mutalisks already, I guess. Same sort of point I was making before. Mutas are going to, again, look around. These Lings are actually going to get caught to the right-hand side. They're looking for a way to counterattack here, or maybe just surround, and actually that is going to be a surround coming in. Widowmine gets a good chunk of units to begin with, as those Mutavax will lift up, begin to move away. Mutas will chase, however. Oh, there's the reinforcements, so fortunately for ByuN, he is going to get to reinforcements in time. Guru needs to spend his money. He's down in supply, but only because he's got so much in the bank. He needs to make sure he keeps on spending that here. That's actually a huge Widowmine hit. I'd love to see how many workers there, or how many units that actually killed. There's actually quite a lot. I think Guru was actually traded quite badly in that last fight. I know I said he's only down in supply because he's not spending money, but ByuN actually had a bit of money in the bank as well. So I think that one Widowmine hit was actually a bit more significant than I initially said. Here we go. Moving forwards again. A few Banelings can connect initially. Guru just doesn't have enough Banes. He needs to keep more from the main, and he needs to keep this going. He is down a set of upgrades right now, which of course doesn't make this easy to kind of fight with. As we're going to be seeing him trying to push forwards again. His muta count is good. He's got 19 of them, although not all of them are here just yet. I wonder where the rest of the mutas are. You know, it's the sort of unit where you sort of want to have all in the same place. Where are they? I don't know. Anyways, we do see once again Guru just pushing forwards. Mutas still trying to deal a little bit just on the edge of this army. Keeping on, trying to push this back. This is some classic Ling Bane Muta where the Zerg player is almost just sort of trying to survive for as long as possible in the game. And the Terran player is, of course, just continuing to apply the pressure. I was just going to be seeing those Marines, Marauders, still looking to push those Mutas back. Guru will come in with another wave of units. Going to come in and, I mean, he just isn't really connected on anything. The Marauders at the front tanking so much damage, meaning the Banelings aren't really being efficient at all, and as Guru has ByuN continue to push on in towards him. He's starting to run out of steam. He takes the Mutas to the right-hand side. The Banelings don't really connect again. And now all of a sudden Guru has nothing left on the ground. His 4th base is broken. Guru comes back in with the Mutas as a last-ditch effort. He knows if the 4th base goes down, that's going to be game. He types out GG anyways. And that is going to be ByuN taking game number 2. And he's going to start off his SGL.